There is much happening in the community of Barbican, St. Andrew.
If you want to see what Jamaica look like, Barbican is what you would call the microcosm of Jamaica. Everybody, all strata, all classes, all types, colors, creed, races, religion, right here. And we live together in peace.
Plus protecting our seniors as they used the road. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I am Adrian Atkinson. Stay with us. We have lots more after these messages.
Did you know that in a recent survey done by the OCA in schools across Jamaica, 43% of the students received inappropriate messages from strangers? The OCA wants you to be smart online. Never speak to persons you don't know. Parents, encourage your children to be social but be smart.
This message was brought to you by the Office of the Children's Advocate with support from UNICEF.
If you're watching the JIS, you're always in the know when it comes to government information. Keep watching, keep informed, and tell your friends. JIS, your #1 source for government info.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, September 22. Government is intent on fast-tracking growth through infrastructure development. The latest drive is to eliminate traffic knots in highly trafficked areas across the island. At the first in a series of community dialogues dubbed OPM Live, Prime Minister Holness updated residents of Barbican in St. Andrew on plans to improve traffic flow in the area. At last night's meeting, Mr. Holness revealed that negotiations are in progress for Phase 2 of the Mandela Highway Road Improvement Project. He said work on Marcus Garvey Drive was completed and the improvement of the Constant Spring roadway is to begin shortly. Negotiations are also being had to build a bypass for Montego Bay in St. James, and the first phase of work to ease traffic flow in Barbican is already underway, with completion scheduled for December 2017.
When all this is done, traffic will flow much more easily than it is now. You will spend less time in traffic, you will reach work less stressed, and you will come home with a little bit more energy so you can have a little bit more time with your family.
Prime Minister Holness also updated residents on plans to improve water, sewerage, and housing in the area.
I believe it is now time, with this massive development that we are putting in for the roads, for us to spend the time now to improve housing. We need to find land in this area and build proper housing so that the people here can become formal home owners through the NHT.
$20 million will be allocated by the Ministry of Education to assist with school repairs and upgrades in Southeast St. Mary. This is in addition to the $210 million that was initially allotted to infrastructural and improvement support for schools across the island. Education Minister Ruel Reid made the announcement on Wednesday during a school tour within the constituency. The minister named Devon Penn Primary and Infant School as one of the schools that will be benefiting from the fund. Classrooms will be upgraded and the building repainted. There's also a pest treatment project planned to remove the termite infestation that now exists at the institution.
We not only care, but we demonstrate our care by making sure you get the resources to solve problems.
He also announced that the $19 million electrical project that is to be undertaken at the St. Mary Technical High School will be completed by August 2018. In other news, Cabinet has approved the relocation of the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development from 85 Hagley Park Road to 61 Hagley Park Road. In making the disclosure Wednesday, Portfolio Minister Desmond McKenzie says the current location in the domes of Hagley Plaza has proven unsuitable to house the ministry. Minister McKenzie says the new property has been assessed and it was determined that it can comfortably house the ministry's core staff. The minister says $130 million has been earmarked for the relocation. Still in local government news, residents of Clarendon are being urged to adhere to the building code to prevent destruction of property in the event of a natural disaster. Portfolio Minister Desmond McKenzie says the parish tops the list of places in the country vulnerable to disasters as a result of improper building practices. The minister made the statement while on a tour of areas in Clarendon that were damaged during the April floods.
I've given instructions to the mayor, and I shouldn't have to give him that instructions, that it is time the municipality pay close attention to how people build in the parish of Clarendon. Too many illegal structures are being constructed virtually in the middle of riverbeds, on the bank of gullies, blocking drains. And these are all contributing factors, ladies and gentlemen, to flooding.
After the tour, the minister addressed residents at a town hall meeting at the Edwin Allen High School in the parish. At the meeting, he told the audience that the government will be constructing a shelter in the northern part of Clarendon. Currently, there are 47 shelters in the parish, most of which are schools that are used as safe houses for residents when disaster strikes.
This shelter, when it is retrofitted, will be a lot more comfortable. We are also going to be placing 2 40-foot containers in the northern part of Clarendon that will be stocked with the necessary supplies. One will be in Kellits, and the other one here in Frankfield at the police station.
The minister noted that the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management and the Labour Ministry will ensure that everything is in place to respond in times of disaster. And finally, starting next year, staff at residential childcare facilities will receive training and counselling services that will better enable them to address the needs of wards in their care. Minister of State in the Youth Ministry, Floyd Green, in making the disclosure on Wednesday, informed that the Child Development Agency, CDA, is developing the modules. The training program will be undertaken in private and state-run residential care facilities. He says the services are crucial for the caregivers and will place them in a better position to take care of the wards.
We always speak about the welfare of our children. We often don't speak about the welfare of the staff in the homes, and we have to start dealing with that. So I've mandated the CDA team that has to be one of our primary focus. We speak about the mental well-being of our children. We don't often speak about what happens when a staff member needs some counseling.
The State Minister was speaking at a licensing sensitization workshop for residential childcare facilities workers held on the grounds of the Alpha Institute in Kingston. Every 3 years, private and state-run residential childcare facilities are required to undergo a relicensing process as part of measures to improve the standards of the child protection sector. The sessions included presentations from representatives of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Fire Prevention Division, Jamaica Fire Brigade, the National Education Inspectorate, among others. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Inform yourself about the HTLV-1 infection. HTLV-1 means human T-cell lymphotropic virus type 1. It's not the AIDS virus, but they are contracted in a similar fashion. You can get the virus from having unprotected sexual intercourse, getting blood that has the virus in it, breastfeeding, and sharing injection needles with HTLV-1 infected persons. These are a few of the signs and symptoms of the virus: skin rashes, swollen lymph nodes, backaches, difficulty in passing urine, sensation in the feet, weakness in the legs, and reduced sex drive. If you have any of these signs or symptoms, you should see a doctor. For further information, please contact the HTLV Project, Department of Pathology at the University of the West Indies, Mona, Kingston 7 at 977-1958 or 927-1620-9.
Last night, top-ranked government officials addressed the community of Barbican in St. Andrew. The residents were updated on the growth plans and projects for their community, as well as of those that will impact the wider country.
If you want to see what Jamaica look like, Barbican is what you would call the microcosm of Jamaica. Everybody, all strata, all classes, all types, colors, creed, races, religion, right here. And we live together in peace. Because of that as well, it is also an area that has the potential for significant economic expansion. What is holding it back? Infrastructure. Infrastructure in roads, but also infrastructure in housing. So we have a plan. We have a plan to improve the infrastructure of Barbican. It starts with the road. The traffic studies say that about 26,000 motor vehicles pass through Barbican on a daily basis. That's a heavily trafficked area. The present configuration does not allow for traffic to clear easily when there are peak demands for road space, in the mornings and in the evenings. Many people complain how much time they lose, how early they have to get up just to clear this area. The work that will be done here will be to expand the road, eliminate this loop, aside from the improvement in the roads, which will have LED lights, which will have modern traffic signals, which will have a road surface that can manage heavy traffic flow. But we're also looking at how we can improve the housing infrastructure. We will be laying pipelines that will carry the volume of water needed to support both the development of housing and communities, but to support commercial development. We will be laying sewage pipes as well to support the development of communities and commercial developments alike. When all this is done, traffic will flow much more easily than it is now. You will spend less time in traffic, you will reach work less stressed, and you will come home with a little bit more energy so you can have a little bit more time with your family. I believe it is now time, with this massive development that we are putting in for the roads, for us to spend the time now to improve housing. We need to find land in this area and build proper housing so that the people here can become formal home owners through the NHT. All in all, your government has been working to improve your living conditions. We are working 24/7, 365 to make sure that you can have a better life, to make sure that prosperity is not just a word, but an experience.
Every duty vehicle on the road or the bridge, listen the message. No overload. Quarry operator, haulage contractor, a trailer driver. No overload. Truck overload destroys our roads. I want to say, check your speed, check your state, make sure you're not overweight. Take the time to make it safe, even if you're little late. Some of the road they leany, sinky, twisty. Truck overload destroys our roads. So drive a heavy duty vehicle on the road or the bridge, listen the message.
A message from the Island Traffic Authority and the National Road Maintenance Fund.
The community of Barbican forms what is referred to as the Golden Triangle, situated in the lush environs of the St. Andrew Plateau. The community has over the years seen major residential and business developments, leading to an increase in vehicular traffic. Severe congestion has become the norm, resulting in loss of critical production hours for many commuters. The Barbican Corridor is one of the main arteries in the road network in this area, and as such is one of several roadways in the corporate area selected for major improvement work.
It is part of the bigger plan to improve traffic flow throughout the corporate area and to reduce congestion in several areas.
The National Works Agency, NWA, has embarked on the project to transform the roadway from 2 lanes to a 4-lane carriageway. Therefore, commuters traveling from areas such as Russell Heights, Graham Heights and Jacks Hill using this corridor to connect with other arterial roads will eventually enjoy smooth traffic flow.
This project is going to be done or is being done as part of the major infrastructure development program, which is that program valued at well over $300 million that we are implementing the GOJ along with the Chinese through the China Exim Bank.
A critical first step to facilitate construction of the additional lanes is the acquisition of properties. The process, which has already started, is being done through the Land Acquisition Act. The legislation makes provision for land acquisition for public purposes such as road construction. This authority is vested in the Commissioner of Lands, who has the power to acquire land either by private treaty or compulsory acquisition. Following the land acquisitions, the corridor between Russell Heights and Jacks Hill Road will be widened.
We have had to acquire some areas and we are seeking to acquire some others. We are looking at some 27 parcels of land that will be acquired as part of this widening process.
This first phase in the road construction process is being done in tandem with the construction of new boundary walls, which represent the limits of the project.
A significant number does involve the relocation of boundaries, and this is just one of them that we're here doing along the stretch. In a couple of instances, we'll have to acquire buildings, so buildings will be demolished, boundary walls set back. Where it is that there are buildings to demolish, we would have demolished those so that we would be in a position to hand over the area to the contractor for the civil works to commence.
The work to be done also involves realigning the Barbican Road and East Kings House Road intersection to form a major T-junction, which will be signalized for better traffic movement. The junction at Birdsucker Lane and Barbican Road will also be outfitted with traffic lights.
What obtains now is that persons have to be pushing and boring and really putting themselves at risk sometimes to get onto the main road, which is Barbican Road. There are going to be sidewalks. It's going to be 4 lanes, much the same way we have had 4 lanes in other areas of the corporate area. Where it is that a median is required, we are going to be putting those so that we don't have conflicting movements in vehicles using this particular stretch.
The over 1 kilometer stretch of road improvement along Barbican Road is projected to be completed in about 4 months, after all the land acquisition is done and the project is handed over to the contractors.
While the project is ongoing, you know, we advise persons to exercise caution. There are going to be some teething pains, there are going to be some amount of difficulties or challenges while the project is ongoing, but it will be for a greater good. And so we are going to be asking them to work with us as we work to complete what we hope to be a very successful project. Once the project is finished, what persons will see or should experience is a vast improvement in travel through this particular area, and from areas such as Russell Heights, Birdsucker Avenue, Jacks Hill Road, and East Kings House Road generally. So the entire area will be enhanced insofar as traffic management, congestion management is concerned.
If you don't wear your seatbelt, this could happen to you. and the consequences could be disastrous. In an accident, the vehicle stops. Suddenly, you don't. Even at 30 miles per hour, your body will be thrown violently forward with a crash force of up to 10 times your weight. Always wear a seatbelt. Seatbelts save lives.
September is being observed as Senior Citizens Month. 30 days of showing extra love and care to the older generation, men and women who have contributed to our upbringing. Next, looking out for our seniors while on the road.
The roadways are meant for smooth and safe commute by all individuals. But statistics show that some categories of users are more prone to an unsafe passage. One of these categories is elderly persons, those over 60 years of age, perhaps as a consequence of their specific physical challenges.
As you grow older, over 65 and going up, you find that people are now prone to a lot of accidents because, number one, they have visual loss gradually, hearing loss. Now they also may become more forgetful. In other words, there is increased reaction time to whatever they are doing. So if they usually used to respond to a situation in a minute, they may do so in 3 minutes.
Persons 65 to 74 years, elderly drivers and pedestrians, men especially, are the most vulnerable within this advanced age group.
Some elderly drivers do not see well, and some are not able to discern colors. And so you will find elderly drivers going through red lights, thinking that it is on green, or perhaps it looks green to them. Then there are signs which will tell us when to turn right, when there's no right turn, and because it is not visible or too visible to the elderly, they will disobey those signs.
The predisposition of these vulnerable individuals to difficulties in the traffic environment dictates that some fundamental changes have to be made to accommodate them.
The National Works Agency is the main entity responsible for ensuring a traffic-friendly environment. That means ensuring that our roadways are outfitted with the proper signage and other amenities to facilitate smooth usage for all road users. But when it comes to the elderly, certain special considerations have to be made.
For a traffic-friendly environment, for the person itself now, sidewalks, pedestrian guardrails, pedestrian crossings, having ramps on the sidewalks themselves to provide ease of access, advanced features in sidewalks, or you might have tactile sidewalks now where the texture of the sidewalk is different from the regular sidewalk for the blind so that they can feel when they walk.
Guided by the regulations for accommodating vulnerable road users, the NWA makes provisions to include these persons in the design of traffic systems and road networks. Pedestrian crossings, sidewalks, bridges, walk signals at stoplights, and road signs and markings are some of the elements that have to be modified to help elderly persons properly function on the roads. One very practical example is the length of time given to walk across pedestrian crossings at stoplights. All that means is that the walk signal to notify persons when it's safe to cross the road stays up longer to allow persons with physical difficulties more time to make their way to the other side. Another is the provision made for ease of travel while driving at nights.
With regards to visibility and the motorists, the driving elderly, you will find that we have also provided raised pavement markers, or what we commonly call cat eyes. This also improves the visibility while traversing the corridor, so that they mark the lane that you should be in. You will have road markings and proper signage. Now, with regards to signage, we have, maybe in the last 5 years, increased the standard which we use to measure the reflectivity of signs.
Sometimes there is no need to deny the elderly and other vulnerable persons their independence on our roads. But you and I do have a responsibility to assess their performance and assist wherever possible.
There are no words to explain the catastrophic disasters which have engulfed the Caribbean. Barbuda, Tortola, Dominica, Turks and Caicos, Cuba, and others have been destroyed by powerful hurricanes. Further afield, Mexico, Guadeloupe, India, and Sierra Leone were each affected by natural disasters as well. All of this may cause you to stop and wonder. It has made me stop for sure, and questions like, what have I done to create a change? Am I living life to the fullest? Keep swirling in my mind. Listen, don't despair. It's time for us to take action, take control. Do the good we intended to do all along. Here's a thought. We could make a contribution to one of the funds established to assist with the recovery efforts in the Caribbean. We have now, right now. Let's step out and make a change. It's a ripple effect that will help make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business, period.
Are you registered to vote? If not, don't miss your chance to get on the next voters list. The deadline for registration is Friday, September 29. Persons not registered by September 29 for the November voters list cannot be added before May 2018. To get registered, simply visit the EOJ constituency office nearest you. For more information, call us at 922-0425-9 or visit www.ecj.com.jm. Remember, voting is your right.
This is where the magazine closes for today, but if you need more information on the features aired in today's show, click on our webpage, jis.gov.jm. There you may also find more information on government programs and policies. For more television features, visit our YouTube channel. We're also on various social media sites. You may also download our app from the Google Play Store to stay informed while you're on the go. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do have yourselves a wonderful evening.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.